All right, welcome back to another episode of the 1216 podcast, Manga Reacts Edition. One Piece. One Piece chapter 1094. Saint J. Garcia of the Five Elders, the Defense Science Warrior God. Or is he? The cover art is always amazing. He never misses a beat. And to have the Shimotsky clan up there. You see Zoro up there doing the Jingoku Dragon. Um, this cover art it's by far my favorite cover art that I've ever seen him do. You see the dragon in the background. You see Ryuma inside there. You see the other Shimotskis inside there. The people from his village, from the East Blue. The people from the actual Wano. You see Boss inside there. It's a lot of different things that's going on that we see. I like this. The cover art was very fire, if I do say so myself. But to get right into it, just a quick recap. Remember, pacifistas are up on a loose still, going through a control issue with it. And remember, it goes Five Elders, Vegapunk, Sentomaru, and then the Authority Chip. So whoever has the Authority Chip, which is what we've seen happen, they picked Kizaru picked up the Authority Chip and said pacifistas, go after them, destroy them. But then last chapter we got, to see reverse card, if you do say, Atlas was telling them eradicate all Marines on the island. So of course the Marines are going crazy. They're scared now. The pacifists are now attacking the Marines and of course protecting, Egghead Island. Marines are taking cover. Pacifists are using light beams everywhere. And we still see throughout the chaos, Atlas, Vegapunk, Sanji, and Frankie are all inside of the Vega Tank 8 as they're working their way through to try to find Bonnie still, because Bonnie is still down low on lower levels. So they're inside the Vega Tank 8 riding the clouds, get down towards her, which is super cool. It's like a magnetic charge to it, like a polar opposites for the most part. The tank stays on the cloud, so they would never just drop off or fall down. They can stop mid-air like this. That's really amazing to me. But throughout everything, they're all looking for Bonnie still, and of course we know Sanji, whenever he's looking for a woman or that's in danger, his lady radar goes off. So he immediately says, oh, my lady radar went off, I found her, and he shoots off doing skywalk as fast as he can. We all know how fast Sanji is. He skywalks down, going towards to pick up Bonnie, and Vegapunk's just like, that radar doesn't sound very scientific to me. Of course, I'm not scientific. It's nothing that Sanji does is scientific except for his augmented body. But he sees Bonnie, of course, he shoots off to go get her, and Bonnie's down there holding her own against the Marines that are looking for her. They have Marine captains and all kind of stuff down there trying to get her. Bonnie's doing her best to hold her own, and she's using the NDE attack, which is the near-death experience. It's like, I don't know if it's like a genjutsu that pops inside their head that has them think that, oh, I'm dying or something like that. But she does hit a few Marines with that. They start going crazy. And of course, the Marine captains that's there, the lieutenants, all that stuff, are looking around like, hey, what the heck are you guys doing? What's going on? But nonetheless, they're still after Bonnie, and as Bonnie takes off after she does the near-death experience, she gets stuck in her tracks because she sees a pacifista. We all know seeing the pacifista for Bonnie is like seeing her father Kuma, because Kuma is Bonnie's father. And of course, the Navy Vice Admiral Bluegrass is behind there. She has the ride fruit, which gives her ability to ride anything and take control of it. That's the only reason why this pacifista wasn't put into play like it was supposed to be. It wasn't put back under control by Atlas and Vegapunks because she's using her fruit to override it, basically. So this, first off, is a weird ass fruit. We've seen a lot of weird fruits inside of One Piece. But she uses her ride fruit, and then the pacifista just shoots off a beam towards Bonnie, and Bonnie's stuck in her tracks. But nonetheless, you know what happens. Sanji comes soaring in and immediately grabs her and tells her, Bonnie, you can't let yourself freeze up like that. She goes, black leg. Of course, she's shocked to see him down there, as she should be. But Sanji, tells her, they told me that Kuma's your dad. I understand that, but you got to keep your head cool. And as he's telling her that, another vice admiral comes up and tries to whack a otter. Sanji immediately grabs Bonnie as Bonnie's clutching onto him and takes off. And they come right across the Vega Tank 8 and they hop right on in order to try to escape. As they try to escape, we look into the air and we still see Luffy still in Gear 5 going against Kizaru. And Kizaru's just like, hey, I'm afraid I got a job to do. You know, I can't finish what we're doing. Just have to, play around some other time. Luffy's like, yeah, I'm doing a job as well. And then as he's in mid-laugh, Kizaru breaks off. Pew! Does a light beam the other way. Luffy immediately get back here. He winds up his wheels and takes off in the air, running through the air. But as they all take off, you see a cutaway between Kizaru, Luffy, Zoro, and Lucci. And they're all sitting there because they're all fighting right now, but they feel this ominous energy, presence just coming towards them. Jinbei feels it. A bunch of people who, of course, have the senses feel it. And all you hear in the background is pacifista units. Cease all actions immediately. Every pacifista unit stops moving. The Marines are looking on like, oh shit, don't tell me this can't be. And of course, Vegapunk, the Vega Force, Atlas, Frankie, all of them are like, it's strange, why aren't they moving? Nobody knows what's going on with it until they see the circle pop up. Atlas says there should be nobody given a clearance unless it's a 5 elder. And as this magic circle pops up, you see the star in the middle of it, and you feel the power that's resonating from this circle. And you hear all Marines on the island. Be advised that Saint Saturn of the 5 Elders is about to make landfall on Egghead. And immediately, if you are not of a certain rank, get out of there. So the circle pops up. We see the black flames come up the circle. It's popping up everywhere. Everybody's in shambles now. They don't know what's going on. They're frozen. They feel this energy. The circle has 5 5s on it, and you start seeing the figure rise from the circle like a demon. And as this figure's coming up through the circle, everybody's looking like, hey, it doesn't matter what's going on. We got to get out of here. Whether you're a Marine, whether you're a pirate, whatnot, they're all like, some shit's about to go down. So as Jay Garcia starts rising up, he's rising up kind of like the devil from Tenacious D. I am complete. Which is kind of funny to me because that's what I think about whenever I see the circle with it now. But nonetheless, you see this Jay Garcia is rising up, and one of the low-ranking Marines is just looking on and is just and confused, like, what the hell is that? There's some kind of monster coming out, and next thing you know, his fucking head is gone. His head is gone. He was looking on at the circle for Jay Garcia coming up. As Jay Garcia rises up there, puts his cane down inside the ground, and he just sits there and it says, I almost can't remember the last time I came to surface. Jay Garcia looks like a demon. I mean, he has spider legs everywhere. He has the horns coming out, and you can tell it's a mythical Zoan type because he has his mythical Zoan aura around him. Well, at least an awakened devil fruit with it. He has an awakened devil fruit aura around him. The black clouds is there. The same that we see with Yamato. The same we see with Nika form with Luffy. The same we see with Lucci inside of his awakened Zoan type. Everybody's freaking out though now. Bonnie's like, what the hell is that thing? Sanji's looking on like, look out for that. And as they say, look out for that, because everybody's looking down, Sanji looks up, and you see a big-ass light beam come right down towards them. None other than Kizaru. Kizaru is that ran away from Luffy, is now trying to destroy the cloud in order to have the Vega Tank 8 fall to the ground. Luffy finally catches up, and he's out of breath, of course. Luffy's been inside this in Gear 5 for a while now. He's way past his limits. Kizaru goes, hey, just leave me alone. What are you doing? Shouldn't you be at your limits by now? Frankie yells out, we're counting on you, Luffy. And all you see is Luffy snap out of it real quick. He shakes his head off and he goes, gum, White Star gun! And uses a giant armor-infused star pistol, comes around and kind of rocks Kizaru dead in the head, sending him flying, of course. But as Luffy does his attack, that was his last attack, so now he's out of Nika mode. And he starts to fall down. We all know how it goes when Luffy doesn't train or have enough time to go through his new mode. Everything seems to fuck up with him, like he did when he went Gear 3 for the first time, and he was super big and then became super tiny. It took a while to break out of it. He has to train the Nika awakening ability still. As Luffy's falling down, he crash lands. Of course, the Vega Tank 8 falls to the ground because it was knocked off the cloud. Sanji gets up. He makes sure, hey, Atlas, are you okay? As he's holding Bonnie. Of course, we see Frankie checking up on Vegapunk, and Jay Garcia's in the background just looking on. He's ready to pounce or attack or do something, but before anything can happen, Bonnie gets up, pulls out the sword, and goes charging right in. She says, I was given the order, Vegapunk. Now it's time to take this individual out. She's going to try to erase Jay Garcia from existence. And she goes in and takes the sword and stabs him right inside of the middle of his chest. I've been pierced by her fury as she's crying because she knows he's responsible for turning Kuma into the lifeless corpse that she knows her father to be now. This chapter gives off a lot of mystery. A lot of things are, starting to come to play now. But I do see that I was a little bit right, meaning that, the 5 elders aren't human. At least I still believe that, because there's no way in hell you can tell me that this magic circle appears and out comes an awakened Jay Garcia, full spider legs and all. Is this his awakening form? Is this his actual form? I don't even know. We still don't even know the name of his fruit that he's using, if he's even using the fruit, because it's a magic circle. This is something else. This is something else. What I can say is that, of course, it has to be a Zoan type if he is doing this, because it's a Zoan transformation. The powers that's going on right now is definitely one of those. But you see, Jay Garcia is now in action and he's about to make his move. I hope we get to see this. I was hoping to see more of Zoro and Lucci fight throughout this time, but we're moving towards the end of One Piece, so got to start moving a little bit faster when it comes to the wrap-up process of everything. Bonnie's going to most likely end up dead, or hopefully Sanji can save her and get up out that gym, because she is this close with Jay Garcia and the swords inside of him. As she's crying, her judgment's clouded. She just wants revenge back for what happened to Kuma. I understand it, but Bonnie just put herself in a lot of fucking trouble. And it's going to be interesting to see how she gets herself out of this one. Luffy, down for the count, has to wait till he, gains more energy back. The time we seen Luffy like this was his fight against Kaido, when he ran out of energy completely, and it took some time for him to heal. And then, of course, him and Zoro popped up screaming out booze and screaming out meat, because they wanted food and they wanted alcohol to drink and eat with the festival going on. But Egghead, so far, is not letting me down. We did see Kizaru get punched in a temple, so I want to see what the effects of that is about that, and if that comes up, because that white star gun is something critical. But stay tuned. Stay fucking tuned. This is only getting better and better as we go through with it. So I'm ready to see what else is in store for our lovely crew that we do have. And I want to see if what else, who on the island can stop, stand up, or evade Jay Garcia, because right now he's in full demon mode. He said it's been a while since he's been like this. So what's gonna happen now? This shit is beyond me right now. Stay tuned for next chapter 1095 coming out possibly next week. Jesus, critical stuff. Nonetheless, if you do like, enjoy, or just respect the manga reviews that I do like to take my time with them and actually go over what's going throughout the chapters and get your feedback, of course, for what you guys think is to come up for the next chapters. For me, the biggest takeaway was the Demon Star, the star that popped out of the ground, and then upcoming Jay Garcia. That took my breath away the entire chapter. So, what was your favorite moments from the chapter? I would say, but nonetheless, this has been Egghead has been a roller coaster of a ride, and I'm glad we get to see one of the five elders finally come into action because we know he's going to end up being defeated. And there's going to be four elders left remaining, and I want to see if the power scales tip towards somebody's favor. Stay tuned. Stay fucking tuned. This is getting interesting right here. Jay Garcia is now awakened. If you like, please hit that like button down below. If you want to get notified every single time that we do drop a banger of a video, which we're trying to make sure we stay consistent with doing every single week, please hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications you have for us. Of course, in the meantime, give us that sub button right there. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with your loved ones, share with your pets. This is 12, signing off.